Not so long after starting my YouTube channel 2 years ago, I watched a video from another YouTuber who back then had around 24,000 subscribers. And what he basically said was that you need at least 100,000 subscribers to make a living as a YouTuber. And from that point, every day of my life, I lived with this idea of I just need to get to 100,000 subscribers and then I will be free. Then I will make enough money to make a living wherever I want and whenever I want, and so I'll be able to travel the world and live like a YouTuber. And around a year later, I realized how wrong I was. I started blowing up on YouTube. I got to around 30,000 subscribers, and I realized that the concept of 100,000 subscribers to make a living is completely wrong. At the moment of recording this video, I have 52,000 subscribers, so I'm pretty much halfway there to reaching the 100,000 subscribers mark. That guy who I was talking about, whose video I watched, he now has 29,000 subscribers, so he only grew by like 5k in the time where I grew 50. Now he doesn't seem as so much of a role model for me anymore, and now I realize how much of a piece of shit that advice was and how much it ruined my mindset for like 1.5 years. I have 50k subscribers, right? So if we were to double the amount of money I make from ads revenue and sponsorships, I would be able to make a full-time living, right? That's what the advice was. But the number would be $100 per month. Because if it's not a really good month for me, which could then go to up $1,000 per month from ad revenue, then an average month for me right now is $50 from ads revenue and 0 from sponsorships with 50k subscribers. So do you think I actually would be able to make a living from 100,000 subscribers? No, it's not possible, because ad revenue and sponsorships are a piece of shit. They don't mean anything. That is not a source of income. Just think about how random that is. Back in December, 3 of my YouTube videos blew up to like 100,000, 200,000 and 700,000 views. And so just that alone got me to like $1,000 from ads revenue in November and December. And so I'm like, yeah, now the $1,000 per month is my baseline. But then March turns out to be a month where I make $50. And so how unreliable is that? Where you go from 1,000 to 50. It's unreliable at all. And it's purely based off of luck, because the same exact video I posted in March a year ago blew up like 6 months later. So it was luck. And if you took a look at graphs of other YouTubers, they always go like this, which means that they also make money in this exact pattern. And how can you make a good living? How can you live life when you don't know whether your next month is going to make you 2 times more money or 10 times less? That is the reality of basing your income off of sponsorships and ad revenue. And you could say that that's just because you have 50,000 subscribers and not even that much. You don't have 100,000, so you don't know what you're talking about. But I actually found a guy in the exact same space which I'm in, self-improvement and entrepreneurship. His name is Jordan Green. With all the respect to him, I'm just providing him as an example. Shout out to him. He has 162,000 subscribers on YouTube, and according to socialblade.com, which is a site where you can check out other people's YouTube analytics, he makes between 40 and 500 bucks per month. So realistically, that's probably like 200, because it's usually in the middle. And so a guy with 162k subscribers, almost double what the role model told me, he makes barely 500 bucks per month, probably closer to 200. And again, I don't mean to discredit Jordan Green at all. I assume that he probably has another source of income apart from ad revenue itself, but that's just the reality. YouTube ad revenue and sponsorships, you should never even think about that existing, because even if right now your channel may be blowing up, you may be getting to millions of views every single month, tens of thousands of dollars, is your fame going to last for forever? Are you going to be experiencing the same level of fame 10 years from now? 20 years from now, 30 years from now? You're still gonna need money 30 years from now. Are you gonna be experiencing the same level of fame and ads revenue? Of course not, because popularity drops after years. You never have the same people rule the media over decades. It's impossible. There may be like 1 or 2 examples, but generally that just doesn't happen. It's very unrealistic. So I hope that I at least kind of convince you that you should never base your income off of ads revenue and sponsorships. Don't even think about it that way. I could be talking about how finance niche can make you $10 for 1,000 views and health niche can make you up to $2 for 1,000 views, but that is irrelevant, because you're not going to make a good income out of that anyway. What you need to do instead is you need to create your own product, a separate business that you're going to be marketing using your social media platforms, and then from that you will be able to not only make a lot more money, but your income will also be a lot more consistent. The amount of money you can make with your own business is infinite. You can get to billions like Jeff Bezos if you set up a good enough business. And you don't need 100,000 subscribers with that. There are guys, for example, Bolton, that's a name on Instagram, you can look that up. That is a guy who has 7,500 followers on Instagram as I'm speaking right now, and he makes over $7 million out of that every single year. So that's almost like $1,000 for each of his followers. Pretty insane, right? But that proves that you don't need a lot of following at all. What you need instead is a good business. And when I say create a product, you probably start thinking, okay, I can do personal coaching, I can do courses, I can start a community, but that is not the way you should think about it. Because first, you ask yourself, what are you going to do? And then you ask yourself, where are you going to do that? So let me explain that to you in depth. We're gonna start by figuring out your niche. This is probably going to be the exact same thing as your YouTube channel. Right now, I'm teaching you content creation, and my business that makes me 2K per month is the exact same thing. I teach content creators how to make money online. So you see, this is the exact same thing. But if you don't have a YouTube channel yet, if you don't know your niche there yet, then I have a couple of more questions for you. First of all, what are your interests? So what are you passionate about? What books do you read? On what topics? What kind of YouTube videos do you watch? If you watch something like this, then it's a high chance that you may be interested in something like content creation. So what are your interests? I want you to write down at least 5, the biggest ones that you have. Then you ask yourself, what do you have results in? So for example, I am also interested in fitness, specifically calisthenics. And I do have results in that. I can do all sorts of different things in calisthenics, so I can write down calisthenics as my results. I also have a very decent physique. That is also a result. On the other hand, I am also passionate about photography, and I can take good photos, but apart from that, I don't have any tangible results for that. I didn't make any money with photography, and so I don't have results in photography, so that is probably not a space in which I should be teaching in. So you have your interests and you have your results. That should narrow down your niche. That should tell you, okay, so if you like content creation and you have results in content creation, then maybe that's something you want to teach. But then you gotta ask yourself, what are the problems in that niche, and do you want to solve them? Can you actually help your clients lose weight? Are you able to keep them from snacking throughout the day, ruining their progress? If you can find a way to solve that problem, then absolutely go with that niche. If that's not something you want to put your mind to, then that's probably not the way to go, because you're gonna be solving those problems over and over again, pretty much till you shut that business down. So you really gotta make sure that that is a problem that you can and actually want to solve. And why solving problems? Because the whole idea of a business is to solve people's problems. That is how you create value. The reason why you're watching this video is because you have a problem, you want to make money with YouTube and you don't make money with YouTube, but I help you do that, and that's why you watch it. That's the whole idea of a business. And then once you figure out the niche and the problems in it, you gotta figure out who is the ideal customer for you. Who is the person that has those problems that can also buy your products. And this is very important. Make sure that the person can actually buy your product. Because here's the thing, if you're gonna be helping teenagers lose weight, then the problem is that teenagers don't have money, so they will not be able to pay you. On the other hand, if you were to help 9-to-5 workers lose weight, they have money because they have a job, right? So they can pay you to help them solve their problems. Targeting broke people is the biggest mistake I see. It's the single thing that keeps you from growing in business so much. So just from the start, try targeting as rich people as possible. Of course, don't target billionaires because they're just gonna think that you're a kid, you're a dumbass, right, and you don't know anything. They're not gonna take advice from you. They're gonna hire some kind of a specialist. But you can target people that work a 9-to-5. You can target small entrepreneurs. They are going to take advice from you, right? That they are not anybody out of your league, right? So you can 100% do that. Just make sure that your customer has money. Then, once you figure out what problems you solve, in what niche, and who you help solve them, you gotta figure out what is the dream outcome that your customer has. So for weight loss, the dream outcome could probably be something like a six-pack or having an aesthetic physique to be able to attract girls. That is the dream outcome. The dream outcome is not losing 10 pounds. The dream outcome is not getting shredded. The dream outcome is attracting girls, being respected in your group of friends, feeling good about taking your share of. That is a dream outcome. And all that your product needs to be is it needs to take your customer from their problem, being fat, to their dream outcome, being attractive to girls and being respected by your male friends. If you can solve their problem, get them from A to B with your product, that is all you need to do. So think about how can you, in the best way possible, get your customer from here to here. Only then you start to think about where can I host that product. So with weight loss, you probably figure out something like, okay, I need to give them a workout program, I need to give them a diet program, and I need to make sure they are actually following it. Once you know that, then you actually figure out how you're going to host the product. Can you do that with personal coaching? Yes, 100%. You can just send them the workout program, you can send them the diet program, and then you can make sure that they are actually following it by hopping on calls with them, asking them, hey, how are you doing? Messaging them, checking up on them. You can 100% do that with personal coaching. Can you do that with courses though? You probably can't. Because sure, you can give them the workout program, you can give them the diet program, but you're not going to be sure whether they actually stick to it. And that's a big part of the business, because one thing is just getting the sale, and the other thing is getting the customer result so that they can then become not only your testimonial, but they can then go on with their life and say, hey, this guy helped me achieve this, right? And so then you can get more customers if you get a satisfied customer first. So it really does matter. And so can you do that with a course? You probably can't. So that's probably not the way to go about it. Can you do that with a community though? Yes, you absolutely can. But then it's going to be less personal. So the workout program and the diet program has to be adjusted to their needs. And you probably need more expertise to do that in the first place. So instead of thinking, should I start personal coaching? Or should I sell courses? Or should I start a community? You figure out what first, and only then you figure out where. But if you're interested in that a little more, then I have created a 100% free course in my own community, which will teach you even more about choosing your niche, creating an offer, finding your target customer, getting the first few sales in so that you actually start making money. I've made that course, again, 100% free. So click the first link in the description and I will see you on the side where people are sick of being consumers and where they want to be the creators of their own reality.